Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Arabic ebook before it's gone.
أهلا بكم أنا كارول. Welcome to ArabicPod101.com's Abjadiyya Made Easy, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn the Arabic alphabet, the Abjadiyya. In the last lesson, we practiced reading and writing all the letters we've learned so far. We also learned the 3 basic voweling signs in Arabic. From now on, we are going to write the words we learn with voweling, so get ready. Let's go! In this lesson, we'll continue with 2 letters from the first group, meaning that they have English counterparts, which is good news for us. Those are Sin and Shin. Let's start with Sin. Sin sounds just like the English S. It's very easy to pronounce. Let's see how it's written. Here's the isolated version. Sin. Now let's see the rest of the letter forms. Initial, medial, and final. Let's write them. Sin. The next letter we learn is Shin. This one is pronounced just like the English sh in the word shovel. This one is very easy as well. It looks just like the Sin, except that it has 3 dots on top in a triangular formation, like the Tha we learned in lesson 2. Let's write it down in the isolated form. Shin. Now let's see the rest of the forms. Initial, medial, final. Here's how to write them. Shin. Note how Sin and Shin dip underneath the line when they are in the isolated and final forms, just like the Noon we learned in the first lesson of this series. Now let's learn some words using these 2 letters and the letters we learned before. First we have Sir, meaning secret. Sin is in the initial form with a kasra beneath, connected to Ra in the final form. Here's how to write it. Sir. The next word we have is shariba. It means to drink. Shin is in the initial form with a fatha on top, connected to Ra in the final form, with a kasra beneath, then Ba in the isolated form. Writing time. Shariba. Now it's time for Carol's tips. Taking note of letters that dip beneath the line and letters that don't can help improve your handwriting. The letters we learned so far that dip beneath the line are ra, zain in all their forms, and noon, sin, shin in their isolated and final forms. Also, it's best to practice on lined paper, not blank paper, for more structured handwriting. Next time, we learn two letters that look alike. However, they are challenging to pronounce. I'll get you through them in the next Abjadiya Made Easy lesson. Take care. Salam.
If you want to learn more words so you can speak and understand even more of your target language, there is a super simple way to do this. In fact, it's so simple that most people don't even think of it because it doesn't involve language apps, YouTube videos, or your computer. I'm talking about writing things out by hand. How to learn words and phrases by writing them out. And in this guide, you'll discover 1. Why writing words out helps you pick up languages faster, 2. How to use our free PDF workbooks to practice writing, and much more. But first, if you don't yet have access to our language learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. You probably already know that one of the best ways to master a language is through actually using it and practicing it. And that's where writing things out comes in, because you're using the language when you write it down. And on top of that, the physical act of writing helps your brain remember the words much better than seeing them on screen or typing them out. Now, handwriting may feel slow, but by taking it slow, you actually speed up your learning and master the language faster because you engage more of your brain in the process. So, how can you do this? You can apply this trick to any resource that you're using right now by simply copying out the words and phrases that you come across. The more you write them out, the better they'll stick. With our learning system, you can 1. Practice with our free PDF writing workbooks and worksheets. All members get free access to our PDF writing workbooks and worksheets, which are based on common topics like the alphabet, common nouns, adjectives, greetings, and much more. Inside, you learn the most common words and phrases for that topic, and you get plenty of space to practice writing the words out. And in the last section of the workbook, you'll get tested on the words. You'll see the translations of the words, so you'll have to try and remember the meaning in the target language and write it in. 2. Practice writing with the free Word of the Day emails. Every day, we send you a new word to your email inbox. You get the audio pronunciation, sample sentence, and a picture to help it stick. But you can also just as easily write that word down and do that daily, every time the emails come in. And now you have a simple language routine going that you can stick with. Now, if you want to learn a little more than just words, you can 3. Practice writing out the conversations from our lessons. So, if you want to master entire conversations in your target language, you can also copy out the conversations from our audio and video lessons by hand. And this will help you master words, phrases, and grammar rules all at once, since you're not just writing out words, but actual lines. Just scroll down to the dialogue section of a lesson to see the conversation. So, if you want to get access to these learning tools and our learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. Remember, here's what you can do to learn all of these words by heart. Drill these words with our spaced repetition flashcards, which will help cement these words into your long-term memory. Save them to the word bank, your personal vocabulary collection, where you can print out your own study sheets, or review the words with our looped vocabulary slideshow, and play it until you know all of the words. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to get these lessons and study tools.
أهلا بكم أنا كارول. Welcome to ArabicPod101.com's Abjadiya Made Easy, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn the Arabic alphabet, the Abjadiya. In the last lesson, we learned two more letters of the first group that look alike. I hope you remember how to read and write them. In this lesson, we learned two new letters that look alike, but they are in the second group, which means they are a bit challenging to pronounce. But remember, with practice, nothing is impossible. At the end of the lesson, we'll look at some new words and phrases to add to your notebook. Ready to learn? Then let's go. The first letter we have in this lesson is Sad. The Sad is basically the strong version of the Sin we learned in the last lesson, and it kind of sounds like the S in the word saw. This sound is pronounced with your throat constricted. Listen to Sad and Sin with the vowel Alif we learned in the first lesson. Sa, Sa. Hear the difference? You'll have to do this for a few more letters later on, so please get used to using your throat like this. Let's write it down in the isolated version. Sad. Here are the initial, medial, and final forms of this letter. Now we'll write them. Sad. The next letter we learn is Dad. This one is like a strong version of the Dal, kind of like the D in the word daughter. It looks just like the Sad, except that it has a dot on top. The difference between this letter and Dal is the same as the difference between Sad and Sin, with your throat constricted. Dad. Here's how to write it in the isolated form. Dad. Now let's check the rest of the forms. Initial, medial, final. Here's how to write them. Dad. These two letters also dip underneath the line when they are in the isolated and final form, just like these other letters. Do you remember them? Now, let's learn two new words which use the letters we've learned so far. Our first word is sabr. It means patience. Sad is in the initial form with a fatha on top. Then we have the ba in the medial form without voweling, connected to ra in the final form. Here's how to write it. Sabr. Our next word is darar. It means damage. It's dad in the initial form with a fatha on top, followed by ra in the final form with a fatha on top, and ra in the isolated form. Let's see how we write this word. Darar. Now it's time for Carol's tips. One of the most challenging things in learning a new language is having to learn how to pronounce letters that don't exist in your own language. It takes time to learn, but it's possible with constant practice and listening to how native speakers pronounce these letters. Are you ready for your next challenge? We'll be learning 2 more letters from the second group in the next Abjadiya Made Easy lesson. I'll see you then. Salam!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is how to write 1,000 words in your target language in 5 minutes a day. Now, don't worry, this language learning method isn't as hard as it sounds. But through it, you'll master a ton of words, phrases, and grammar, improve your speaking, and much more, simply by writing for just 5 minutes a day. How exactly? Stick around. Today, you'll discover a simple but powerful tactic for practicing writing, the hidden language learning benefits of writing, and how to write 1,000 words with a special free study tool. But first, if you're looking for new free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Giving the Time PDF Conversation Cheat Sheet. This brand new cheat sheet will teach you how to ask for and give the time fluently. Download it for free right now. And second, the Core 2,000 Words PDF ebook. Actually, this PDF ebook is usually not free and is sold at our store, but you can get free access for the next few days and get fluent with the 2,000 must-know words inside. So don't miss out, because this book will go back into our vault soon. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Now to today's topic. How to write 1,000 words in your target language in 5 minutes a day. Part 1. A simple but powerful tactic for practicing writing. So, what's this powerful learning tactic that'll help you write 1,000 words? Well, you'll be surprised how simple it is. But the language learning technique is simply copying and writing lines into a notebook, and it's a super easy way to start writing in your target language. Now, you might be feeling underwhelmed. You may now be writing a comment about how you're disappointed now that you know what it is. But if you actually copy things out consistently, this writing tactic can and will help you master a language. That is, if you take action. So why does copying things out work, and what makes it a good language learning strategy? Part 2. The hidden language learning benefits of writing. First, it's super easy to do. Copying out lines, say from a textbook or an article, takes no thinking whatsoever. You don't have to worry about what to write, you just copy. You can do it any time of day, and it's a skill you can practice on your own. Second, writing helps you retain the language. How? The more you interact with the language, the better you remember it. So when writing out words, you're focused on them and you're reading them at the same time. This helps the information stick. Third, you learn new words, phrases, and grammar indirectly. If you keep up with this daily, you'll always come across new words as you practice with this technique, and writing them out will help you remember them. Fourth, you indirectly improve your speaking and reading skills as well. The words and phrases that you learn and retain this way will of course spill over into reading and speaking and help you speak, read, and understand more of the language. And fifth, you get valuable language output practice. With language learning, you need equal amounts of input, reading and listening, and output, speaking and writing, to truly master a language. Writing is the perfect way to practice output. This tactic works so well that it's a practice among writers, novelists, and even people in advertising. Writers imitate great writers by copying out their work word for word. And by doing this, they get used to a certain style of writing. And the same goes for language. You get used to the language, the structure of sentences, and what sounds natural and what doesn't. Now, how do you apply this copying out tactic? Do you just copy anything? And should you write 1,000 words all up front? The answer to that last question is no, but here's what you do. Part 3. How to write 1,000 words with a special free study tool. First, sign up for our Word of the Day. This is a free study tool, and every day it sends you an email with a new word, along with the meaning and a few sample sentences. Second, open up the lesson when you get it. Review the word and then copy out the word in the sample sentences. And that's it! You're done for the day. This takes 5 minutes or less. Then, the next day, repeat the process. Open up the Word of the Day email and copy out the words in sample sentences. To reach 1,000 words in 1 month, you need to write about 35 words a day. And you can do that easily by just copying out the word in a few sample sentences. And through this, you'll learn more words and phrases and grammar. You'll also directly improve your writing skills and indirectly improve your reading and speaking skills. By the way, you can use this tactic with any other resource as well. You can copy out the lesson dialogues in our lessons. You can use your own textbook or online articles. The list is endless. But it's much easier with the Word of the Day because you get daily vocabulary and sample sentences to copy out. You don't have to go looking for things to copy out. So give it a try and let us know how it works out. Thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about input versus output and getting real results from your language studies. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!
أهلا بكم أنا كارول. Welcome to ArabicPod101.com's أبجدية Made Easy, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn the Arabic alphabet, the أبجدية. In the last lesson, we introduced 2 letters of the first group that look alike, Ra and Zain. If you've been practicing, I'm sure you're doing a great job. This lesson will be a great chance for you to review all the letters we learned so far. Let's practice together. First, we'll review the basic rules. In this series, we've classified the Arabic alphabet into 2 groups. The first one is the group of the letters with counterparts in English language. The second one is the group of the letters that don't have counterparts in English. That means they will be a bit more challenging to pronounce, but remember, practice makes perfect. Letters of the Arabic alphabet have 4 ways to connect to the letters before and after them: isolated, initial, medial, and final. However, there are letters that don't follow that rule and only have 2 forms of connection. They are alif, dal, dhal, ra, zain, waw. Now let's review the letters we've learned so far. In the first lesson, we learned alif and noon. They are the letters you need to form the word ana, meaning the pronoun I. First, we have alif. Here's the isolated form. And here's the final form. Alif only has 2 forms, as we've already explained before. Now let's review noon. Isolated, initial, medial, and final. That's it for the first lesson. Did you remember that the initial form of alif is the same as the isolated form, and the medial form is the same as the final form? Now let's move on to the next lesson. In the second lesson, we learned ba, ta, and tha. First, we have ba, isolated, initial, medial, final. Then there is ta, isolated, initial, medial, final. Finally, we have tha, isolated, initial, medial, final. That's it for lesson 2. Their shapes look like a boat, remember? Next, let's review lesson 3. In the third lesson, we learned 3 more letters that look alike: jim, ha, and kha. Here's jim: isolated, initial, medial, final. Now let's check ha: isolated, initial, medial, final. Finally, we have kha: isolated, initial, medial, final. That's it for lesson 3. Next, let's review lesson 4. In the fourth lesson, we learned dal and dal. First, we have the dal: isolated and initial, medial and final. Now let's check the dal: isolated and initial, medial and final. That's it for lesson 4. These letters are 2 of the 6 which only have 2 forms. Finally, let's review lesson 5. In the fifth lesson, we learned ra and zain. These 2 letters also have only 2 forms. First, we have ra: isolated, initial, medial, final. Then there's zain: isolated, initial, medial, final. And that's the end of our review for the first 5 lessons. Did you remember most of them? Keep practicing and you'll get better in no time. Now we'll continue with some Arabic writing rules. To be able to read Arabic correctly, you also need to master the voweling system of the Arabic language. Voweling signs are marks above or beneath the letter that adds a vowel sound to that letter. However, vowels in the voweling signs are pronounced shorter than the actual vowels. Let's see the 3 basic voweling signs when used with ba. First, here's the fatha. The pronunciation will now be ba. Next, this is a kasra. This is now pronounced as bi. And finally, here's a dhamma. It changes the pronunciation to bu. Now, let's practice writing and pronouncing these basic voweling signs. Akh, brother. Akh. Ukht, sister. Ukht. Jad, grandfather. Jad. Ana, I. Ana. Anta, you. Anta. Voweling is very important because it can change a word's meaning. For example, here are 2 words that have the same letters but are pronounced differently and have different meanings because of the difference in voweling. Har means hot, while hur means free. There are other voweling signs in Arabic, but they aren't as common as the 3 basic signs we learned in this lesson. We'll go back to them in the next review lesson. Now it's time for Carol's tips. The concept of voweling might feel a bit unnatural to non-native speakers. However, Arabic learners need voweling to be able to read correctly, especially when faced with new words. Native speakers don't need voweling because they know the words and how they're pronounced already. Make sure you master the 3 signs we learned in this lesson. They will help you read faster and more correctly. Good luck! That's it for this lesson. I hope this has helped you memorize the letters we've learned so far and get a feel of how the voweling system in Arabic works. You did a great job. In the next Abjadiya Made Easy lesson, we learn 2 more letters of the first group that look alike. See you then. Salam.
If you're learning a language, the words and phrases that will come easiest to you will always be the ones you're interested in, whether it's words with bad or funny meanings or phrases about yourself, such as where you're from or how old you are. So what if you could make your own printable vocabulary worksheets so you could review and practice writing out the words that you're interested in? How to create your own printable vocabulary worksheets. Well, stick around. In today's guide, you'll discover 1. How to assemble your own word and phrase lists, 2. How to create your own printable worksheets, and much more. But first, if you don't yet have access to our language learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. While you're learning the language, you should keep in mind what exactly you want from this language. Do you want to talk about yourself, your hobbies, or understand TV or music? Why? Because you'll naturally learn faster if you're learning about what you're interested in. So, here's how you can assemble your own personal vocab lists. 1. As you go through our lessons on the pathway, you'll likely come across words and phrases you want to remember. You could write them down, or you can send them to the word bank, which is a premium feature where you can store words and phrases for later review. So look for the Add to Word Bank button on the lesson page. 2. You can also save words and phrases from our free vocabulary list to the word bank as well. You can sort through hundreds of vocabulary lists by topics such as weather, hobbies, talking about your day, and more, so you can find words that you're interested in. And then click on Add All to Word Bank. Here's how you can make your own worksheets. Just go to the vocabulary menu and select Word Bank. There, you'll see your collection of words and phrases. Just click on Printer-Friendly version to print them out. You can also click Export Word Bank. If you've organized and labeled your words into categories such as verbs and adjectives, you can select that label and export it as a PDF. Then, go ahead and print the file out. You can use this worksheet to review the words or even write on it. So, if you just want ready-made printable worksheets and cheat sheets, then you can always unlock our free Conversation and Vocabulary PDF cheat sheets and PDF writing worksheets. These resources are free for members of our language learning system. So, if you want to learn the language and get access to these learning tools and our learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. Remember, here's what you can do to learn all of these words by heart. Drill these words with our spaced repetition flashcards, which will help cement these words into your long-term memory. Save them to the word bank, your personal vocabulary collection, where you can print out your own study sheets, or review the words with our looped vocabulary slideshow, and play it until you know all of the words. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to get these lessons and study tools.
أهلاً بكم. أنا كارول. Welcome to ArabicPod101.com's Abjadiya Made Easy, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn the Arabic alphabet, the Abjadiya. In the previous lesson, we introduced some more letters that look alike. We've already learned several, but do you remember how to read and write them? Taking the time to review the lessons will be the key to learning how to write in Arabic. In this lesson, we learned 2 letters that look alike and also kind of look like the 2 letters in the previous lesson. Then we learn a few more words for you to add to your notebook. Ready to learn? Then let's go. Our first letter is Ra. Its closest English counterpart is the letter R, but it's a different sound that must be learned. Ra. It's not too hard to pronounce though, right? Note how it looks like the dal, but dips beneath the line. Make sure not to confuse them. Here's the isolated form. Ra. Now let's take a look at the other forms. Just like the alif, dal, and zal, the letters in this lesson connect differently. The isolated one is like the initial form, and the medial version is like the final one. Now we'll write it. Ra. The second letter we learn in this lesson looks pretty familiar. Zain. As you can see, it looks similar to the ra, but with a dot on top. In terms of pronunciation, you say it just like the English Z, as in zebra, or Al Jazeera. Practice saying Al Jazeera if you want to practice both the sounds ra and zain at the same time. It's the perfect word for it. Al Jazeera. Here's how to write the isolated version. Zain. Start from the top, dip it below the line, then put a dot on top. Done. Now let's take a look at the other forms of zain. You can probably guess that the isolated version is like the initial, and the medial is like the final. Now let's write it. Zain. And that's all. Wow, great job today. We'll continue learning more letters in the next lesson, but for now, let's practice using these letters in some new words. First up is the word that uses two of our new letters. Try reading it out loud. It should be easy. It's pronounced jazar and means carrot. The jim is connected to the zain, but the ra and the zain aren't connected to each other because they are in medial and final positions. Now let's try writing it. Jazar. Now let's try to write another word. It's rad, meaning reply, like when you're replying to an email or message or someone talking. This verb uses only two letters, and both are written like isolated letters. Let's write it. Rad. The last word we have in this lesson is the verb zara, which means visited. Note how all the three letters in this word connect differently, and so they are all isolated. Let's write it together. Zara. Now it's time for Carol's tips. Grouping letters into those with similar characteristics makes memorizing them much easier. Just make sure you don't confuse them. Some letters look very much alike, the only difference is dots and their position. By reading more, you'll get used to the difference between the letters and their pronunciation. Good luck! In the next lesson, we'll be doing a review of the letters we've learned so far. And we'll also give some detailed explanations about the little things we didn't cover in the past lessons, for the sake of focusing on writing and pronunciation. Let's get more in-depth in the next lesson. Salam!
Want to improve writing in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 8 ways to practice and master writing with our lessons and learning program. Let's begin. Number 1. Write out the words and phrases by hand. One of the best ways to improve your writing is to simply write more. So write every word, phrase, and sentence that you learn in the lessons by hand in a notebook. You can write out the conversations from the dialogue study tool, example sentences from the lesson notes, and words and phrases from our vocabulary lists. Number 2, take the writing quizzes. With every lesson, you get review quizzes to help you master what you've learned. Just scroll down to the vocabulary section or click on Vocabulary. Click on Take Quiz, and then click on Writing Questions. Number 3, leave a comment on the lesson. After you're done with the lesson, be sure to use what you've learned, whether a new word or a grammar point. Leave a comment in the comment section, and our teachers will review it and give you feedback. Number 4, dictation. Dictation is a study method where you write down what you hear as a way to test both your writing and listening skills. You can do this with any one of our audio and video lessons. This method is recommended for intermediate level learners and above. Number 5, create sentences using newly learned words. You can learn new words with our lessons, the word of the day, the vocab lists, and the Core 2000 word list, which gives you the 2,000 most frequently used words. And as mentioned before, you can also leave a comment with a practice sentence, and our teachers will review it. Number 6, write short messages to your Premium Plus teacher. Just write out a message and send it to your Premium Plus teacher for review. In fact, as a first step, all new Premium Plus users are asked to write a self-introduction and send it to their teacher. Your teacher will review your work, give you feedback, corrections, and help you improve your writing skills fast. Number 7, get writing assignments from your Premium Plus teacher. You can also get assignments that cover listening, writing, speaking, and even reading from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 8, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more writing lessons, then visit our lesson library, and under Category, choose Reading and Writing. You get instant access to all of the pathways and lessons that will help you master all areas of the language, including writing. You'll get all of our pathways and lessons that are dedicated to helping you master writing. So, if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Arabic ebook before it's gone.